with regard to Lake Corpus Christi, the Wesley Seal Dam has been blamed for goodness knows how long of causing flooding conditions for residents on County Road 73 in San Patricio County. I know that the incoming judge has expressed interest in wanting to work with you and with incoming Judge Canales on trying to figure out a solution to a problem that has existed probably well since both of us were thought of. So at this time, what is the city's take on this?
Well, I don't think the dam's caused any flooding. What causes flooding is when you have an exorbitant amount of rain all at one time in a very short period of time, because that would be the Nueces River that's coming down, and historically there are times there's not any water in the Nueces River, and really the only time it floods is when you have a huge rain event all at one time. So, but in the water management of the lake, obviously it's like if you're trying to, let's say Lake Corpus Christi is a 5-pound bucket, and you're at 50%, and then all of a sudden you get a big rain event and you've got 100 pounds of water coming down, or 100 gallons of water coming down, and you've only got a 5-gallon bucket. Well, to try to minimize the flooding effect downstream, you lower the lake levels a little bit, because it's bigger than to keep it in the riverbed, to keep it from flooding the residents down. But sometimes the capacity of the lake is taken with so much water coming down, and you do have flooding downstream. It's a temporary thing. People know that it's going to happen. When you live on a river, you got to figure you're going to get flooded. That's why most of the folks out there's houses are on stilts and elevated. It's an inconvenient, but that's a choice they make. But we're trying to use our water management skills, and recently I think we've done an excellent job in these last occurrences where we've had so much rain this year that there was some minor flooding down there. I don't think the property obviously was 3 or 4 feet of water in the property, but to my knowledge there was no injuries or accidents to individuals. And then that water subsides almost as quickly as it gets down there. But it is an inconvenience. But if you're going to live on a river that's subject to flooding under special conditions, that's just a part of the life that you've chosen to live. And FEMA has now prohibited really making any insurance coverage available for folks that do that. If they've done it once, okay. But if you continue to live in a floodplain, then why should their theory is, why should the taxpayers under the FEMA program continue to help rebuild property that you know is going to flood? The taxpayer, that you ought to have to be able to pay that on your own. So it's a gamble. People love to live on the waterfront, rivers and the bays and everything else, but the price you pay is you could be subject to flooding. But working with the county judge in Nueces County and San Patricio County and Corpus Christi, we are looking at trying to get a master drainage plan for the entire counties, because water doesn't pay any attention to boundary lines. And so there are floodings just because of our drainage situation, and so we're getting our lakes and our creeks and drainage ditches cleaned out, modified, enlarged to take large rain events. That's something that we all got an interest in.